I'm an addict for sneakers.
Kanye West is back on Twitter. Looks like just to take shots at Nike. Let's talk about it, but before we do so, subscribe if you're new. Hit that thumbs up button and make sure you hit the little bell. That's the notification button. It lets YouTube know it's okay to notify you when I upload a new video so you don't miss out on any future content. Hit that stupid little bell. Bang, bang, bang. Hit the bell so you don't miss out on new content. So Kanye West went MIA on Twitter for a while. His page was shut down. He disabled it, and now he's back. And he threw out a tweet basically throwing shots at Nike. And they are reworking the Monarch sneaker, which will drop next month. A lot of people are saying it's kind of like a ripoff of Kanye's shoe, the Yeezy 700, but in my opinion, it may be the other way around. I mean, this new Monarch kind of vibe definitely looks similar to his, but his looked pretty damn similar to the Monarch, the original Monarch that released many, many moons ago before this Yeezy 700 release. So I don't really get why he would even do such a thing, but he definitely brought to the fashion world this style and made it hot again. Like, some people were wearing the Air Monarchs before this shoe released, the 700, but now that the 700 released, the Monarchs are popping again. I mean, there's a lot of people wearing the Nike Air Monarchs. Am I? No, I'm not wearing them. Do I hate them? Nope. I don't hate them. I don't mind the Yeezy 700 by Kanye West and Adidas, especially the colorway you're seeing on the screen. It did grow on me. I did a whole video talking about how at first I thought it was just like an old dad shoe, and it was okay, but it just really didn't hit, you know. Like, I wasn't really like jumping out of my seat for him, and I'm still not really jumping out of my seat for him because the price point on them is a little steep. Call me cheap. Call me cheap if you like. I don't really give a shit. But leave that in the comment box. Let me know what you think about this whole situation. Let me know if I'm cheap. Let me know, is this new Monarch a ripoff of the Yeezy 700 Wave Runner, or it's impossible to even go there because of the fact that the 700 is very, very similar to the Nike Monarch, which released mad long ago. I mean, it was a long time ago these damn shoes released, and I'm pretty sure it's Nike's most popular shoe to release as far as sales. You know, a lot of people wear the Monarchs. A lot of people, not just people that are like sneakerheads, but actual human beings that don't give a damn about sneaker culture. They just are buying a pair of sneakers. They are buying the Air Monarchs. They're going to department stores that carry it, and they're buying them. You know, it's an interesting conversation. I did knock out my podcast already, and I wish I spoke about it on my podcast over at patreon.com/DJ Delz. It's an exclusive podcast just for Patreon members, and if you're interested in that, you get an hour podcast every single week, plus you're entered into a monthly giveaway. And you become an executive producer of the show. You get to let me know what you guys want me to speak about, and we speak about that. And that goes down every single week. But getting back to these shoes, I definitely think that this new upgraded Monarch shoe definitely looks nice. And I've seen it in a couple of colorways. Shout out to, I think it was T. Blake. He posted a bunch of colorways on Twitter. I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was him. So I'll give him that credit. And they didn't look that bad. They really don't. They look good on feet. I mean, the 700 I'm talking about, the Yeezy 700, they do look good on feet. The first colorway I liked, the new one that just released, it was okay. You know, I'm not jumping out of my seat, as I said, for the model still. I just feel like for the price point, I'm not going there with it. It's just not happening. But leave your comments, thumbs up the video, please, and I am gonna give you guys a sample of the newest podcast that released this weekend. I'm going to give you a sample. I'm not going to give you the whole hour podcast because it's a damn hour and that would be unfair for my Patreon members. But I will give you guys a sample, about maybe 4 or 5 minutes, so you can get an idea of the whole show. And if you want more. If you want this every single week, it's exclusive to Patreon members only. So let me give you a little sample.
Introduce myself, Mr. Thanksgiving, aka Mr. Gangster Grills himself, DJ the drama. Delz, let's go!
What is really, really good? It's your boy Delz. We got episode 6 of the patreon.com/DJ Delz exclusive podcast. Let's get to Incognito. Shout out to Incognito. He writes, what would you say is the most underrated sneaker brand? The most underrated sneaker brand would have to be... let's see. I would definitely say Reebok is one. I can't give you just one. Because I'd really have to put more than just a couple of seconds of thought. Reebok is definitely one. I feel like they deliver great shoes, classic models, really nice quality, so they would make the list. You made the list. I also would say that Saucony is another one. They just deliver amazing quality and craftsmanship for an affordable price. And I just feel like they don't get the love that they deserve to get. I do feel, though, that in this year, in 2018, they just haven't been delivering what they did last year. And I hope that that changes, because I love the brand. I mean, I do love the brand, but if you look at last year versus this year, I haven't really seen much that's really been so amazing. You know, last year they had all these cool packs. They had the breakfast pack. They had my sneaker to release. But there was a lot of cool concepts. And I feel like this year it's not like that, you know. I feel like they're pushing a lot of like the newer models, and we're getting less of a retro vibe that has some kind of clever concept to it. Maybe I'm not seeing what's releasing, but I'm trying to pay attention to everything that they put out, because I'm a fan of the brand before I even got my sneaker deal. So, you know, it has nothing to do with me having the deal being like, oh, I love the brand, this, that, and the third. Or else I wouldn't even say what I'm saying. You know, I'm going to be honest with you guys. That's what this is all about. That's what this podcast is all about. No holds barred. This year they've been kind of quiet, and I hope that they start delivering that heat for our feet, because I want them to deliver. I really do. And it's a little disappointing that I still don't own one pair in 2018 that I feel like I needed to have. Like, where it was like, oh my God, I gotta have this pair of Sauconys. I mean, we are in the end of April, and still nothing, in my opinion. I mean, there's been some little sprinkles. They had like a St. Patrick's Day sneaker, which was kind of cool. They had a Dunkin' Donuts shoe, but they put it on a new model. And I don't know about you guys, but with me, I want to see the old school models. I don't want to see a new school Saucony. Until I get a pair and throw them on my feet, I really just don't know. I mean, you know, I had one pair of the newer models, and it was a cool pair of kicks, and maybe if it had a cool colorway, it would give me a different vibe, but it was more of a running shoe, you know. The Dunkin' Donuts one that came out sold very well. That's one thing I did notice, because I did post links on my blog and over on my Twitter, and then I noticed that it did sell out, so that's good for the brand. But, you know, I don't work for the brand, so it doesn't put any money in my pocket. I do appreciate them giving me that deal, as I was saying, but I would have rather them do something with that Dunkin' Donuts shoe on like a Grid 9000. Like, that's what I would have rathered versus them pushing the new models. But I guess that's their agenda in 2018. They want to switch things up. It seems like they're really trying to go full force on the actual new models and do concepts with that, like the St. Patty's Day one that released, which was a cool pair of kicks, and then the Dunkin' Donuts one versus them using the old models. Maybe that's their whole marketing plan for 2018. Let's do the collaborations with the new models versus the old models. People are going to always buy the old models. Let's really try to push the new ones. I have a feeling that's their whole goal for 2018, to push the new models. I mean they have a bunch of new technology, so they're trying to push that. So, but I definitely would add that to the list right there. And also Fila puts out great quality shoes. I mean, they deliver great leather. You never really see any bad glue marks or anything like that. The suede is always nice, and I just don't get why more people are into Fila. And I think part of the problem, it's not a problem because as the brand, they're making money, is that some people connect Fila, like in this day and age, to like cheap shoes, you know. I mean, you could walk into Sears and you'll see them on sale. You know, they sell them at Sears. So maybe that connection gives a bad taste to quote-unquote sneakerheads for the younger generation. But you see, when I was a kid, Fila was really dope. Like, it was like popping. And we wore Fila. We wore the Fila jackets. Like, it was really in style too. It was really a thing in the 90s. So to me, I have a lot of love for Fila because that's what I wore as a kid. I wore more Fila and Reebok than any other brand. I didn't wear Jordans as a kid. I rarely wore Nikes. I wore Adidas. I gotta add Adidas to there because I wore a lot of Adidas. I wore Adidas. I wore Reebok. I wore Fila. And I would wear Nike Air Force Ones every single spring. I would always buy a pair of white Air Force Ones. Once I became a teenager, it was kind of a tradition for me and my friends. Once the first day of spring hit, time to get a pair of white on white Air Force Ones. And we buy one pair, and sometimes we double up. You know, we were younger, so we didn't have the money like that, but we'd keep them so clean, super clean. And even the Reebok leathers, we'd have them all white, and they were popping back then. And man, we'd make sure them things were clean, hit it with the toothbrush every day, because it was really important that they were crispy. You know, it was like, if them things didn't look crispy, it was not a good look. So every day, you know, all of us, you know, we go to our homes, you know, and that would be one of the things you do, man. You go and you hit the sneaker on the sole, make sure that shit is really nice and clean. So Nike Air Force Ones, all white ones, Uptowns, a lot of different nicknames, but that's another shoe I grew up with, but it's not a shoe that's overlooked, of course. You know, it's a classic. It's always been a classic. So there you go. That's a quick snippet of the podcast. We got more. Just think about it. That was just a little bit. We got an hour podcast every single week, plus the giveaway, and you get into the archives. We got already, I think, 6 or 7 shows. So check out all the different shows. Patreon.com/DJ Delz. Become a member today. If you're a diehard supporter, you love what I do, you love sneakers, you love other stuff that I love, you definitely need to join the Patreon. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, this actual snippet that I hit you with at the end. And leave your thoughts on everything we talked about. Much love out there. Be safe out there. And we out.